You've been a good guy your whole life. You listen, you care, you're there when she needs you. You remember the little things. You show up. You try. So why does it feel like the more effort you put in, the less she seems interested? You've probably told yourself it's just bad luck. That you haven't met the right person yet. That eventually, someone will appreciate all that effort. That's not it. And deep down, you already know that's not it. The real answer is something nobody teaches you in school. Something your parents probably didn't know how to explain. Something most people spend years getting wrong without even realizing it. And honestly, it's not your fault that you don't know this. But by the end of this video, you're going to look at attraction completely differently. Not because I'm going to tell you to be someone you're not, but because I'm going to show you what's been hiding in plain sight this entire time. You're going to understand why good intentions sometimes create the opposite of what you want. And more importantly, you're going to know exactly what to do about it. So stay with me. Because what I'm about to tell you might feel uncomfortable at first, but it's going to make everything make sense. Here's what we were all taught growing up. Be kind. Be respectful. Be available. Show her you care. Treat her well. Prove you're not like the other guys. Be the gentleman your mother raised you to be. And that advice? It's not wrong. Let me say that again. That advice is not wrong. But somewhere along the way, it got twisted. It got distorted. It turned into something else entirely. Be kind became never disagree with her. Be available became drop everything the second she texts. Show her you care became perform constant reassurance and validation. Treat her well became treat her like she's made of glass and might break if you're honest. And now you're stuck in this weird loop where you're doing everything you were told would work, and it's not working. You're the guy who listens to her vent about the jerk she's dating. You're the guy she calls when she needs something. You're the guy she says is so sweet and such a good friend. And you're wondering why being the perfect gentleman feels like a one-way ticket to the friend zone. Here's what nobody told you. Being nice isn't the problem. Being only nice is. Being nice while erasing every other part of yourself, that's the problem. Here's the uncomfortable truth, and I need you to really hear this. Desire doesn't run on comfort. It runs on tension. Not conflict. Not drama. Not toxicity. Tension. The feeling that there's something to discover. That there's a person in front of her who has his own world, his own opinions, his own life, and she's getting to be part of it, not the center of it. Let me show you exactly what I mean. Insight number 1, presence, not performance. Most nice guys aren't actually being nice. They're performing niceness like it's a transaction. You do something thoughtful. You expect attraction in return. You listen for hours. You expect her to see you differently. You're always supportive. You expect that to eventually turn into something romantic. And when it doesn't, you feel cheated. Like the universe broke a promise. Here's what's actually happening on her end. She can feel the agenda behind every gesture. Every compliment comes with invisible strings attached. Every act of kindness has a hidden price tag. It doesn't feel like generosity. It feels like pressure. Like you're building up a debt she never asked to owe. And that kills attraction instantly. Real presence is completely different. Real presence is showing up as yourself, not as the guy you think she wants you to be. It's being genuinely kind without keeping score. It's listening because you're actually interested, not because you think it's going to earn you points. It's the difference between giving a gift and giving a down payment. When you give someone a gift, there's no expectation. It's free. It feels good to give and to receive. When you give a down payment, you're investing in a future outcome. And the other person can feel that weight, even if you never say it out loud. So let me be clear, this isn't about being cold or withholding. It's not about pretending you don't care. It's about being kind because that's who you are, not because you're trying to engineer a specific outcome. People can feel the difference. Every single time. Insight number 2, standards, not surrender. Here's a pattern I see constantly. A guy meets a woman he's interested in, and suddenly, he has no opinions. No preferences. No boundaries. She says she loves a certain type of music. Suddenly that's his favorite too. She mentions she's not into something. He immediately drops it from his life. She has a strong opinion. He agrees, even if he was thinking the exact opposite 5 seconds ago. No friction. No pushback. No boundaries. And it absolutely kills attraction. Here's the mechanism. When you have no standards, you communicate, whether you mean to or not, that you don't value yourself. That you're so desperate for connection that you'll become whoever she needs you to be. And if you don't value you, why should she? Think about the people in your life you actually respect. Are they the ones who agree with you about everything? Or are they the ones who challenge you sometimes, who have their own strong perspectives, who stand for something? Having standards means you're willing to disagree. You have preferences that don't disappear the moment you're attracted to someone. You're not looking for anyone, you're looking for someone compatible with who you actually are. Let me be precise here, because this gets twisted. This is not about being difficult or argumentative for the sake of it. It's not about nagging or playing mind games or being a contrarian just to seem interesting. It's about having a backbone. It's about existing as a full person. When she says, "Let's go to this restaurant," and you hate that kind of food, you say, "I'm not a fan of that place, but I'd love to try this other spot with you." When she's venting about something and you actually disagree, you say, "I hear you, and I see why you're upset. Honestly though, I see it a little differently. Want to hear my take?" You remain yourself. You don't contort into whatever shape you think she wants. Because here's the thing, she doesn't want someone with no opinions. She wants someone real. Insight number 3, mystery, not constant availability. You meet someone you're excited about. From that point on, you text back within 30 seconds. You rearrange your entire schedule at a moment's notice. You cancel plans with friends if she's free. You're always available. It feels like devotion. Like you're showing her she's a priority. But it reads as desperation. Here's what's happening psychologically. Humans are wired to value what feels scarce. It's not a game. It's not manipulation. It's just how our brains work. When you're always available, you signal that nothing else in your life matters. That you are just sitting around waiting for her to give you purpose. And that's not attractive. That's suffocating. Mystery doesn't mean playing games. It doesn't mean intentionally ignoring texts or pretending to be busy when you're not. It means actually having a life. It means having hobbies, friends, goals, passions, projects, things that exist independently of her and her approval. When you have your own world, she's invited into something rich and interesting. There's depth to discover. There are parts of you she doesn't know yet. When you don't have your own world, she becomes your entire world. And that's way too much weight for any one person to carry. Think about it from her perspective. Would you be more interested in someone who dropped everything to be with you, or someone who has a full life and is choosing to make space for you in it? The second one, right? Because it feels like a choice, not a need. Here's what this looks like practically. You have plans with your friends on Friday. She asks if you're free. You say, "I've got plans that night, but I'm around Saturday. Want to do something then?" You're working on a project that matters to you. She texts, You respond when you finish, not instantly. You have a morning routine that centers you. You don't skip it just because she stayed over. These aren't tricks. They're the natural result of having a life you actually value. And paradoxically, that makes you more attractive, not less. Insight number 4, challenge, not comfort. This one's tricky, so pay close attention. Comfort is important in a relationship. Safety, trust, reliability, knowing someone has your back. All of that is crucial. I'm not diminishing that. But only comfort? That's a friendship. That's a roommate. That's not romance. Romantic tension requires a little unpredictability. A little playful disagreement. A little I wonder what he's thinking right now. You don't create that by being mean or distant or emotionally unavailable. You create it by being genuinely, authentically yourself, which includes moments of surprise, spontaneity, and not always being perfectly predictable. Here's an example. Comfortable guy says, "Whatever you want to do is fine with me." Challenging guy says, "You know what? I have an idea. Trust me on this one." Comfortable guy responds to everything she says with, "Yeah, totally." Challenging guy listens, processes, and sometimes says, I actually see it differently. Here's why. Comfortable guy asks, "Is this okay? Are you sure? Do you like this?" Challenging guy assumes his presence has value and moves through the world with quiet confidence. See the difference? It's not about being a jerk. It's about taking up space. It's about not apologizing for existing. Think about the people you find most interesting. Are they the ones you have completely figured out, or the ones who still surprise you? Not because they're fake, but because they have depth. Layers. Complexity. Contradictions that somehow make sense. That's what challenge means. It means you're not a flat character. You're not predictable to the point of being boring. You have strong days and off days. You have passions that light you up and things that annoy you. You're playful sometimes and serious other times. You're human. Fully, unapologetically human. And that's inherently more interesting than someone who's trying to be perfect. Insight number 5, self-respect, not self-sacrifice. Here's where nice guys get it most wrong. You cancel your plans. You ignore your own needs. You put your goals on hold. You become a supporting character in her story instead of the protagonist in your own. And you think that's love. It's not. It's self-abandonment. Here's the truth that nobody wants to say out loud. A woman doesn't want to be the center of your universe. She wants to be with someone who has a universe and invites her to be part of it. There's a massive difference. When you make someone the center of your universe, you're handing them all the power. You're saying, "My happiness depends entirely on you." And that's an impossible burden. When you have your own universe, your own purpose, your own direction, your own sense of self, and you invite someone into it, you're saying, "My life is full and meaningful, and it gets even better with you in it." That's sustainable. That's attractive. That's healthy. Self-respect means your needs matter too. Your time has value. Your goals are worth pursuing. Your boundaries are real. It means if she consistently treats you poorly, you're willing to walk away, not out of spite, but out of respect for yourself. It means you're not trying to convince anyone to choose you. You're presenting who you are clearly and letting people self-select. This isn't selfish. This is the foundation of any healthy relationship. Because if you don't respect yourself, you can't teach anyone else how to respect you. And if you're constantly sacrificing yourself, you'll eventually resent the person you're sacrificing for, even though they never asked you to do it. Here's what self-respect looks like in practice. She cancels plans last minute without a good reason. You don't say no problem. You say, I was looking forward to that. Let's reschedule, but I need more notice next time. She talks to you in a way that feels dismissive. You address it calmly. Hey, the way you just said that didn't feel great. Can we talk about it? You have a goal that matters to you. You protect time for it, even when someone wants your attention. None of this is harsh. It's just honest. And honesty, delivered with respect, is one of the most attractive things you can offer. Insight number 6, emotional stability, not emotional caretaking. Here's one more that's critical. A lot of nice guys become emotional caretakers. They're always trying to fix her mood, manage her feelings, make sure she's never upset. And it's exhausting. For both people. Here's the thing, emotional stability doesn't mean being her therapist. It means being grounded in yourself so you don't get swept away by every wave of emotion that comes through. When she's upset, you don't panic and scramble to fix it. You listen. You're present. You offer support. But you don't take responsibility for emotions that aren't yours. When she's in a bad mood, you don't internalize it as something you did wrong. You give her space to feel what she's feeling without making it about you. This is what emotional maturity looks like. It's not cold. It's not distant. It's stable. And stability is incredibly attractive because it's rare. Most people are reactive. They absorb other people's emotions like a sponge. They get anxious when someone else is anxious. They get defensive when someone's upset. But when you can stay calm and centered while still being caring and present, that's powerful. That's the kind of presence people feel safe around. Now, let me pause here. Because I know how this can sound. I know there's a whole corner of the internet that takes ideas like this and twists them into manipulation tactics. Into game. Into treating people like puzzles to solve instead of humans to connect with. Let's be absolutely clear, this is not about playing games. You cannot fake having standards. You cannot perform self-respect. You cannot pretend to have a full life. People can feel it when you're putting on an act. It might work for a week, maybe a month if you're a really good actor. But it crumbles the moment real life shows up. What I'm describing isn't a strategy to trick someone into liking you. It's about becoming the kind of person you respect. The kind of person whose life feels full and intentional and aligned with your actual values. And then letting attraction follow naturally from that. Authenticity is detectable. So is BS. Every single time. If you try to use these insights as manipulation tactics while still being the same desperate, people-pleasing person underneath, it won't work. You'll just be performing a different script. The goal isn't to seem confident. It's to build confidence from the inside out. The goal isn't to appear like you have standards. It's to figure out what you actually value and honor that. The goal isn't to look like you have a life. It's to build one. There's no shortcut. There's no hack. There's just the slow, worthwhile work of becoming someone you're proud to be. So why do so many genuinely good men end up in this pattern? It's simple, and it's not your fault. You learned early that being good meant being accommodating. That love was something you earned through perfect behavior. That if you just did everything right, you'd be chosen. Maybe you watched your mom burn herself out taking care of everyone and learned that caring meant sacrificing yourself. Maybe you were praised for being the easy kid, and you built your identity around not causing problems. Maybe disagreeing or having needs led to conflict in your house, so you learned that keeping the peace meant erasing yourself. Maybe you saw your dad work himself to the bone trying to provide, and you internalized that your value comes from what you do for others, not from who you are. None of that makes you weak. None of that makes you broken. It makes you human. We all learn survival strategies as kids. We figure out what gets us love, what keeps us safe, what helps us belong. And those strategies work in that context. But survival strategies from childhood don't always serve you in adult relationships. The script that kept you safe at 8 doesn't help you build intimacy at 30. And that's okay. Because scripts can be rewritten. You're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience. You already know how to care. You already know how to show up. You already know how to be kind. Now you're just learning how to do all of that without losing yourself in the process. So here's what you can try this week. Small, doable, real. These aren't grand gestures. They're tiny experiments in showing up differently. Action number 1. Practice saying no to one small thing. Someone asks for a favor that doesn't actually work for you? Say no. Kindly, but clearly. I appreciate you thinking of me, but I can't make that work. No long explanation. No apologizing. Just a boundary. Notice how it feels. Notice that the world doesn't end. Notice that most people respect it more than you expected. Action number 2. Share an actual opinion. Next conversation, whether it's with someone you're dating or just someone you're talking to, instead of just agreeing, share what you genuinely think. Not to argue. Not to be difficult. Just to exist honestly. You know, I actually see it a little differently. Here's how I think about it. See what happens when you take up space in a conversation instead of just reflecting back what the other person wants to hear. Action number 3. Prioritize one thing that's just for you. A hobby. A workout. A project. A goal. Something that reminds you that your life has value independent of anyone else's approval. Protect time for it. Don't cancel it the second someone else wants your attention. This isn't selfish. It's self-preservation. These 3 actions might feel small. But they're not. They're the foundation of a completely different way of showing up in the world. And here's the thing you need to remember, especially on the days when this feels hard. This isn't about getting the girl. This is about building a life you respect. A life that feels full and real and aligned with who you actually are. When you do that, when you genuinely build a life you're proud of, attraction becomes a byproduct, not the goal. Because the kind of woman worth being with doesn't want someone performing for her. She doesn't want a project. She doesn't want someone who needs her validation to feel okay about himself. She wants someone who knows who he is and isn't apologizing for it. Someone who has his own direction and invites her to walk alongside him. Someone who's capable of deep care and firm boundaries. Someone who's kind without being a pushover. Confident without being arrogant. Present without being needy. And you can be that person. Not by pretending. Not by performing. By doing the real, messy, worthwhile work of building yourself into someone you actually respect. This is for you. Not for her validation. Not to finally get picked. For you. So here's my final thought. Being kind is not the problem. Being thoughtful is not the problem. Caring deeply is not the problem. Losing yourself in the process, that's the problem. You can be good and have a backbone. You can care deeply and have boundaries. You can be generous and value yourself. You can be open and have standards. Those aren't contradictions. They're the whole picture. You're not too nice. You're not broken. You don't need to become someone else. You just need to stop abandoning yourself in the name of being liked. Because the right person won't ask you to. If this landed for you, drop a comment and let me know which insight hit hardest. Seriously, I read them, and I want to know what resonated. And if you want more honest conversations like this, the kind nobody else is willing to have, hit subscribe. Because we're just getting started. You've got this. Now go build something worth showing up for.